Hi, friends. How's it going? How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing good. Welcome back to Dubster Dive, the show where I go on a rant about an anime for 30 minutes or so, let you know if it's good or if it's crap, and I guess we have fun. This time we are doing Hellgirl, a favorite amongst horror anime fans, and one that was supposed to be done last month. However, my copy of it didn't arrive in time, thus it's a little late. But you know what? Screw it. I wanted to watch this show again. We're covering it now. And just right up front, after watching it for the first time in over 10 years, I was a little worried that it might not be as good as I remembered, but thankfully, I was pleasantly surprised. So I will tell you all now, I do recommend this anime. The problem is, it's in licensing limbo right now. So, stick around and you'll find out exactly what Hellgirl is about. But first, a little history. Hellgirl is an anime produced by Aniplex and created by Studio Deen. Yes, that's Studio Deen. The dumbasses extraordinaire of erectile nuisances. What? That has to be what the series, or the anagram stands for Studio Deen, right? Yes, the series of Deen stands for that. Deen, we've talked about here before, with Higurashi, which I felt was alright, and Seven Deadly Sins Season 3, which I felt was terrible. There's no middle ground with Studio Deen. Either their shows are okay or they're just straight up crap. Anyway, it was directed by Takahiro Omori, and is actually a Deen original. It aired in the year 2005 in October, making this the 15th anniversary of the franchise, so that's kind of cool, and ran for 4 seasons, with Season 3 wrapping up in 2009, and Season 4 just being made up of 6 episodes, well, at least new episodes, it's complicated, that aired in 2017. The show did end, from what I could find, but only in subtitled land. This is where the licensing hell comes in that the show was part of. You see, Season 1 was licensed by Funimation, with their dub coming out in 2007. Season 2 and 3 were licensed by Sentai Filmworks, coming out in 2010. Subtitled only from Sentai. Season 4 was Aniplex themselves putting it on Amazon Prime Video as part of their anime strike program. Remember that shit? Pay an additional $5 in order to watch their anime, and you have to be a Prime member. I am so happy that model failed. After this, however, the rights to all 4 seasons, I believe, reverted back to Aniplex, and now nobody has it. Funimation themselves let the license expire in 2013, making Season 1 even more of a rarity. Sentai let 2 and 3 expire, and Season 4 is no longer on Prime Video. At least from what I could find. Meaning, as of right now, Hellgirl is completely dead. I don't understand. Well, now that Aniplex has it, maybe since they're being merged into Funimation, they'll put it back on their site or something? I don't know. Maybe we could finally get Seasons 2 through 4 dubbed? I highly doubt it. So needless to say, this is a show I do recommend. The problem is it's a pain in the ass to track down, especially the dub for Season 1. But we've talked enough about history. Let's move on and explain what this show is about. The show covers the themes of humanity are the biggest monsters of us all. You know, bigger than any demon or kaiju or whatever. And it asks the question, if you had the ability to basically send your tormentor into the depths of hell for eternity, would you do it? So the show is very episodic. The premise is this. Each episode follows a character being terrorized by someone doing an obscene crime, be it hurting a loved one or stealing from them to the point where they're homeless, etc., right? Those are just examples. And if you log on to the Hell Correspondence website at midnight, yeah, you thought Atlas were the only ones to do that with Shin Megami Tensei. Bitch, please. Hellgirl did it too. You put in your tormentor's name, and then Enma, the titular Hellgirl, will show up with her compatriots to offer you a deal. They will ferry your tormentor into the depths of hell personally for you, but in exchange, when you die, your soul will also be damned to hell. And it's kind of an interesting question. Would you do it if you were at the bottom of the barrel? You know, so, I don't know. I really like the themes that the show went for. I should warn people, though, who haven't seen the show. It is very graphic, so if you're squeamish in any way, it might not be for you. Again, the tormentors, as they are kind of meant to be the worst of the worst in terms of what humanity has to offer in this anime. So I don't think I need to tell you, they're really fucked up. So, moving on from that, again, this Dubster Dive will only be covering Season 1. I'm not sure how Season 2, 3, and 4 cover everything, unfortunately, since, again, we only cover English dubs here. But as the show progresses, I will be able to tell you the main plot does pick up around Episode 9 when a reporter and his daughter are introduced, piecing together the mysteries of what Hellgirl has been doing, overlooking the past incidents, and trying to stop her. Because, again, she's still damning people to hell. She's manipulating situations to her advantage to get souls, essentially. Because she's waiting till people are at the lowest of the low, and then offering them the deal. You know, so people won't be thinking things through. They'll be running on emotion and adrenaline and all that shit. So, you know, it asks that question too. Is what Hellgirl doing wrong? Even though she's damning bad people to hell, essentially, she's also stealing victims and putting them in hell too. I can't delve into any more without touching upon spoilers, but like I said, I did find the anime really interesting and I do like it a lot. Moving on from that, let's go to the animation, which I've seen people say is actually good for Studio Deen. This did air back in 2005, so probably back when Studio Deen kind of gave a little bit of a shit about their animation. So, that's always good, I guess. Moving on from that, we have the soundtrack. Now, watching this, I was wondering, why is the soundtrack so damn good? Because I really loved it. And then pulled it up and found out it was done, one of the composers at least, was the legendary Yasuharu Takanashi. For those who don't know, he's the composer of Naruto, Naruto Shippuden, Boruto, and the Fairy Tail franchise, just to name a few. He's also worked on other works like Kengan Ashura, Gonna Be the Twin Tail, and yeah, he's easily one of my favorite anime composers of all time. My two favorite songs from this, from Hellgirl, being Jikoku Shonen and Jikoku Rock. Again, they're really awesome symphonic metal tracks, and they fit great. But also like a lot of the melodic, melodic, that's the right term for it, tunes that he does too. And more melancholic pieces. Again, the OST is a great range of songs, and I highly recommend checking it out. Moving on from that, we now have why this show is called Dubster Dive in the first place, the English dub. And people actually look fondly upon this dub, and it makes sense when looking at who was all involved. The ADR director, for example, was Tyler Walker, the same guy that ADR directed Fairy Tail, amongst a bunch of other Funimation properties. The other ADR director was Leah Clark, and I'm not sure if she helped assist ADR direct anything else. I'm sure she did, and I'm just being an idiot forgetting. Someone will probably correct me on that. The scriptwriter, one of them being Taliesin Jaffe, who we recently talked about with Hellsing Ultimate. And yeah, the script for this show, I feel, is top-notch. Some episodes are better than others, which might be down to the fact it's episodic and this has multiple scriptwriters, with the others being Patrick Seitz, Stephanie Shea, and J. Michelle Tatum. It's Michael Tatum. Before anyone says anything, I know it is. Overall, though, I feel the production of this English dub was really well done. Now let's get to the cast. First, we have our titular Hellgirl, Ai Enma, voiced by Brina Palencia. Or, most of you would probably know her as Juvia from Fairy Tail, Neo Tengu from Dead or Alive. Let's see. It's like numerous other roles. I don't know how much more you want me to name. Tony Chopper in One Piece. Like, she's been in a lot, and I feel her performance as I, trying to do the whole emotionless, non-biased party in these situations, really, really worked out. She did a great job here, especially when there are certain episodes where she does feel emotionally invested, and I mean the character. The character who tries remaining unbiased to the situation, because she has to, it's her job. There are moments where emotion does shine through when she feels, wait, what's going on here? And I feel Brina is able to do a good job with subtle things like that. Next, we have Juan Yudo, voiced by R. Bruce Elliott. Juan Yudo is, when I makes a contract with you, she hands you, I guess you could say, a cursed doll that is the symbol of the contract between you and I. If you untie the thread on his neck, it locks you into the contract with her. R. Bruce Elliott is the one who voices him. He's known for voicing Makarov in Fairy Tail, and he's basically the go-to old man voice actor that they have at Funimation, or at least one of them. Again, Makarov is what I mostly know him for off the top of my head, since, Fairy Tail Mark and all. And I feel he really did a good job as Juan Yudo as well. After him, we have Ren, one of the other Hellgirl associates or Hell correspondents. And I didn't even know his name was Ren till looking up the cast list. I don't think they ever said it once in Season 1. Ren is voiced by the man, the myth, the legend, Todd Abercorn. We've talked about him numerous times here on Dubster Dive. Voice of Natsu from Fairy Tail. He's voiced in Seven Deadly Sins, we had briefly mentioned him. But Todd Abercorn is a legend in his own right. Been in IPs such as Persona. We just talked about him in Hellsing. And he's probably my favorite out of the Hell correspondents because he's such a smartass. And I don't know, I love Todd's performance here. After him, we have Hone Ona, which is another one of the Hell correspondents, voiced by Jennifer Seaman. Her last name is Seaman. Are you serious? Okay, I kind of feel like an asshole for laughing at that, but you all know me, I'm kind of a dick, so... Same as Seaman. Okay, anyways. She's, from what I could look up, mostly did additional voices, and the one thing I did recognize her was Yoshika's mom from the Strike Witches franchise. And that's mostly it. To be honest, I almost got her confused with Stephanie Young at certain points. You know, the voice actor for Nico Robin from One Piece, who is also featured in this dub, so that didn't help, but could just be me. Otherwise, though, I think she did a good job, and has she been in anything recently? I'm not sure. I genuinely don't know. Someone can correct me on that. But yeah, I think she did a good job. She was another one that gave some smartass responses and everything like that during the whole Hellgirl scenes. Last of the Hell correspondents, we have Ai's grandmother, voiced by Julie Erickson, who is the old recovery girl from My Hero Academia. Yeah, she apparently retired back in, I want to say, 2017, so she unfortunately does not work as a voice actress anymore. She was also Panako in Full Metal Alchemist, Wenry's aunt. And yeah, I feel here she did an excellent job. A couple of her lines, again, speaking of getting mixed up, I thought sounded like Linda Young, the old voice of Frieza, who is also featured in this dub. Damn, that shit kept happening the whole time. But, yeah. She gave a good voice of doing the whole old, wise grandmother thing. After that, we have the reporter who's trying to investigate Hellgirl, Hajime Shibata, voiced by John Bergmeyer. Hey, it's Tien Shinhan from Dragon Ball. And he's also Tomitake and the new Higurashi English dub that's currently airing. That's kind of cool. In fact, Tomitake in that does go on about being a photographer and, I don't know. Might be a slight nod to this, since Higurashi and Hellgirl are considered similar by a lot of people. Or I'm reading too much into it. I don't know. But John Bergmeyer, I felt, did a magnificent job in this. A lot of his performances, especially in the final couple of episodes, were great. Again, I can't say too much because I don't want to go into spoilers, but the scenes where he was getting really pissed off in his backstory, like the flashbacks, were really well dubbed and delivered. After that, we have Segumi Shibata, his daughter, voiced by Lucy Christian, who we've talked about numerous times here before as well. She voiced Azuki and Nekopara. Speaking of Recovery Girl, she's the new voice of Recovery Girl in My Hero Academia. She's also Uraraka in My Hero. So, Lucy Christian, again, another legendary voice actress. She's also... Hell, we just talked about her in School Live. What am I talking about? Acting like, oh, we haven't talked about her recently. But no, I absolutely love the relationship between her and Hajime, her dad. Like, their performances were great here. Both of them did an excellent job. Out of the last ones of the main cast, then we can move on to some of the episodic ones that I just feel like giving shoutouts to. We have narrator, voiced by Melinda Wood Allen, who I had never heard of before. Until looking it up, she voices Malin in the Jormungand, or Jormungand, however your pronunciation goes, English dub, and a bunch of additional voices from what I could see. Jormungand is the only other thing I know her from, and yeah. Either way, as narrator, she did alright, I guess. It's one of those things where she just gave opening narration to each episode, so not too much to go off of, but yeah. Now, as far as the episodic characters that I'd love to give shoutouts to, firstly, we gotta get one out of the way. We have the man, the myth, the legend, Vic Mignogna. Yes, Vic Mignogna does star in one of the episodes of this dub. Voicing an asshole. Yeah. No, seriously, he voices a massive dick. But, of course, it's Vic. His performance is legendary as always. I should also mention, for those out there, that, Monica Rial, Jamie Markey, and Christopher Sabat are all featured in this dub as well. And they're all playing people that are victims of torment. So, yeah. 3 of these are people pretending to be in a situation. The other is Vic Mignogna. No, but seriously. Yeah, Vic Mignogna does a good job. As much as I hate to admit it, Monica and Chris do alright. You all know my opinion on Jamie Markey. I don't like her as a voice actress. Every role of hers sounds the same to me. I've never been a fan of hers, even before the shit from 2019. All that did was just cement my opinion. Like, yeah, you're a terrible VA and blah, blah, blah. You all get the idea, though. Some of the other ones I'd like to give a shout out to, Ed Blaylock, who was the Fear King Bradley from Full Metal Alchemist, as well as the original Sebas from Overlord. I want to mention him because I feel he's another great voice actor that deserves more attention, and unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago. Rest in peace, man. But, yeah, he's featured in this dub. I feel, is another great voice actor. Also in this dub is Laura Bailey, who we recently talked about with Hellsing Ultimate, and I don't think Laura Bailey needs any introduction. And, of course, again, great performance from her. After her is Caitlin Glass. Again, another voice actress we've talked about on Dubster before, with Danganronpa and Skippy. And, in fact, the episode she's a star of, which is one of my favorite episodes in the anime, I'll get into that in the spoiler section, you get to hear her cuss a lot and say fucking shit almost every other word. And correct me if I'm wrong, I've never heard Caitlin Glass in a role like that before. Someone please tell me if she's voiced someone else like this, because it was kind of interesting to hear, to say the least. Some of the other standout ones were Tiffany Grant, you know, the old voice of Asuka, as well as Toromaru from School Live. You know, gotta mention that. So we've covered her before here. Jeremy Lee, who's been in numerous shows and won't go away. Nah, Jeremy Lee, though. Another great voice actress here. And yeah, for the most part, again, it's your Funimation regulars that everyone's come to expect now. Trina Nishimura, Brittany Karbowski, a bunch of people that I'm sure everyone's heard of that's followed any form of English dubs here. Strangely enough, Josh Martin is here. Yeah, you know that asshole who was telling everyone to eat an apple or something last year. Or the voice of Majin Buu, or Larry from the Ace Attorney anime. I didn't know he had voiced in any show besides those two until rewatching this. But, yeah. I guess that's mainly it. I do think this dub is top-notch, and I do agree with people. There are a few double castings here or there, like there's a few Colleen Clinkenbeards, Caitlin Glasses, and even some Kyle Abears. But for the most part, this dub did avoid a lot of the trappings of that BS. I mean, thankfully, you only have to hear Monica Royale and Jamie Markey once apiece. Seriously, I can't stand hearing them in a dub now. It sucks. But, yeah. I will give Funimation credit for that. Across 26 episodes, where they had to come up with a new cast for each episode, the fact that they had barely any overlapping casting was a nice touch. I really did appreciate that, because I feel if this was California, oh my... dude, the double casting would be through the fucking roof there. Speaking of which, Stephanie Shea is also playing a character in this dub, which was interesting. I guess not really that interesting. She's been in a few Funimation dubs before. So, yeah. You want my opinion on Hellgirl? Definitely worth watching. The problem is, the English dub for this anime is becoming more rare as time goes by, since Funimation let the license expire 7 years ago. I got really, really lucky finding it at a decent price on eBay, but yeah. Good show. I'm giving it a B+. I could see why a lot of people consider it to be one of Deen's best. I enjoyed the themes, and I just want to cover a couple of my favorite episodes in the spoilers section. But yeah, guys. So, that's it, I guess. Spoiler time. Now, my 3 favorite episodes that I want to single out. One is the one, like I said, Caitlin Glass started, and the reason is I thought it was really interesting and something the show could have done a little more of, was Caitlin Glass was the villain of the episode. The character that she was voicing, right? We followed her perspective and saw that she was kind of, like in the beginning it seemed like, oh, she's being treated like shit, but no, she was the asshole the whole time, and she had the Hell doll, Juan Yudo, is that his name? Yeah. And just said it a minute ago. God, don't have the memory of a goldfish. I promise. But, and she was thinking of using it on her adoptive mom, who was a famous actress, because she, you know, she wanted the inheritance and the fame. So she sabotaged her mother's next production by making the star of that production that her mother was overseeing really sick, right? Well, when she went to go pull the Hell doll, she found out, why can't I pull it? Where'd the doll go? It turned out the actress that she made sick to sabotage the whole production saw the Hell Correspondence website too, and pulled the Hell doll Thread of Fate on Caitlin Glass. So it was a nice twist at the end of the episode, like, oh shit, she got cucked, literally. And I even says, you waited too long. You should have pulled the doll the second you had it, instead of trying to, you know, fix things. But because you were impatient and too greedy or whatever, or too patient, I mean, would be the right term. So, yeah. I just thought that was interesting. The next episode I really liked, because Hellgirl, this is one of the things I should have brought up and why it didn't get higher than it did. It has the problem where a lot of episodes have it where the second a person's tormentor is damned to hell, their life goes back to being the greatest thing in sunshine and rainbows, and nothing seems like it can go wrong. And that is a criticism I've seen of the show, and I do agree with it. The only time this is different is episode 19, where Caitlin Glass, once again the star of this episode, is with Eric Vale's character, you know, the voice of Trunks. And the mother-in-law, again, is being a massive cunt and treating Caitlin Glass like garbage, saying that she wants her to marry into the family, but be nothing more than a doll to model her doll business after. So Caitlin Glass' character can't take anymore, pulls the thread, sends the mother to hell, and thinks her life is going to be normal and that it's going to be happily ever after with her new husband, and then finds out the husband is just as insane as his mother was and wants her to be a doll. Like, oh shit, so yeah, it didn't turn out that well in the end. Should have thought twice about this. Should have just got out while she could, run away and all that. It does make me wonder. I don't know if this is answered in future seasons, and I'm curious to know. What if you go to the Hell Correspondence site a second time? What if you have two people that are your tormentors? Because certainly at some point, there's got to be multiple tormentors, right? A group of people coming after you. Can you do that again? Because I don't think you can sell your soul twice, right? I don't know. Maybe someone can answer that for me. The final episode I really enjoyed and I felt could have spanned a little longer is episode 20, which follows Greg Aris as the main character in this one. Greg Aris, who everyone knows who's followed anything from Sentai. Like, the guy's one of Sentai's regulars at this point. And he's also the voice of Frost in Dragon Ball Super. Basically, he's a psychic and reminds me a lot of Psycho Mantis from Metal Gear Solid. I don't know, I thought he was a really cool character. Well, he comes up with a scheme to get Hellgirl there by basically tormenting someone so much that they summon Hellgirl. And he has a sort of shonen fight with her, or a psychic fight with her. It's really fucking cool. But unfortunately, he gets damned to hell. The thing is, though, is he says this, that he's been to hell before and used his psychic abilities to climb his way out when he was younger. So, I don't know. I don't know if this happens in later seasons. I'm kind of hoping it does. But it would be really cool if he turns out to be a recurring character and manages to use his abilities to get out of being damned to hell. But, yeah. Like I said, I really enjoyed this show, and it'd be fun to talk about it with people. Otherwise, the episodes range from being okay to being really good, like I said. There are obviously some weaker ones. That's how it works with episodic shows like these. I thought Ai's backstory was interesting. In the last handful of episodes, you get to see her past and how she's related to Shibata, the reporter dude, and exactly how their families are linked. But, yeah, overall, this was just a fun watch. I don't want to go too much farther into it, though, because I know some people like sticking around to see spoilers or whatever, and I do feel this show is worth watching. The problem, like I said, is it's hard to track down. Even the Sentai subtitled-only Blu-rays are out of print now and becoming rare, and it sucks. Why do so many classic cult hit anime go out of print like this, yet a lot of terrible anime are readily available at any time? Seriously, I don't understand that. But yeah, I'm really glad that I watched this show again. It's definitely one of my favorites from Studio Deen, hands down. Not like that's hard to achieve. Studio Deen is, track record's very hit or miss. Anyway, guys, thank you again so much for watching, and let me know what you thought of Hellgirl if you've seen it. And if not, like I said, I highly recommend checking it out. Hey, leave a comment below. If you guys have gone on and seen Season 2 and onward, please let me know how it is, because, man, I'm so jealous of you guys. I really want to watch the next few seasons of that show. I hope someone gets the rights to dub it. Come on. I mean, hell, Camphor got dubbed after 10 years, of all things. Why can't we get this? But hey, if you have any shows you'd also like us to cover, please let us know, and maybe we'll cover it at some point, guys. I keep saying guys a lot. But hope everyone has a great day. Thank you again so much for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. There it is again! But hope you all have a great day. Till next time.